Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to look at my James the Red Engine collection. If you're new to these kind of collection videos, I've made a few in the past about Gordon, Edward, Henry, and Thomas. And basically what I do is I show everything that I own that has to do with James, and just tell you something about each item, and say something about the character itself. So let's get started with my first James, this Trackmaster Talking James. Alright, like I said, my first ever James toy was this Talking Trackmaster James. It's had a lot of play over the years, a lot of love. Although, it doesn't really look like that because I try to keep him nice because, well, it's James and he wouldn't be too happy if I made him all scratched up. So I try to keep it the best condition as I could as a kid. Just because, I don't know, it seemed like the right thing to do. So anyway, to look at this, you can see there's his face. Very red. Very nice colors. With the gold. Got a huge cab. It's quite out of proportion, but that's where the motor is. So you can't really complain. This part is a sticker. Got a little scratched up there. The back. There's that side. And this part came off, but I tried to retape it, but tape keeps coming off. So I basically do that just to make sure that they don't, like, the wires don't pull apart, but it's really not necessary because the wires are kind of strong. There's a code, whatever, words on the bottom. But anyway, I'm gonna load this up with some batteries, and you'll get to hear what he says. So I'm gonna go do that really quick. Alright, so I got some batteries inside him, and let's see what he says. You press this little spot on the boiler here.
Hello, I'm James.
You hear that?
I'm James. I'm the brightest red engine on Sodor. Full steam ahead! Bust my buffers. I'm James. I'm the brightest
So basically,
red engine on Sodor.
that's basically what happens, and these springs in the wheels here, set them down. It doesn't go, as you can see. I don't think the batteries have enough power. So he used to be pretty fast, but over time he just slowly stopped working, as you can tell. But yeah, I don't think the batteries have enough juice. I think that's the problem. But anyway, that's James with the batteries. And now let's go on to my other Trackmaster James.
Hello, I'm James.
Alright, so this is my Trackmaster James. I got him basically right at the end of the classic Trackmaster era, around 2013. Right before the Trackmaster Revolution came out, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I definitely prefer the older style. But there's definitely some things that I don't like about the classic ones, especially like right when they were about to redesign them. Their designs are not that great, and this one included. But I'm so happy to have them, so let me show them to you up close. Alright, so here we have, I believe this is either 2012 or 2013 Trackmaster James. You can see here's his CGI face. Not too bad. Basically, the only problem I have with the newest, or it's kind of weird to say, but the newer style of the classic Trackmaster ones, that they stopped using the batteries in the tender, so everything was in here, and it made everything look so chunky and out of proportions. It was just kind of wrong. So yeah, here's the tender. It's completely hollow. You can see it was printed in like the Trackmaster Talking James. You can see it's kind of rubbed off. There's his tender, of course. And here's James himself. There's the wheels. So yeah, very chunky looking, not too great. I definitely prefer like the classic Trackmaster version of James from like the 2000s. or basically Tommy James. I like Tommy James. Tommy James looks the best, I believe, out of all the motorized engines. Of course, the Play-Rail James probably looks the best. Not the newest version, like the original version. I like that one the best. I wish I could have one, but they are expensive. But anyway, yep, here's James. I'm gonna put a battery in him and see how he works. By the way, this is what the battery compartment looks like, if anyone's curious. It's just this motor. They stopped using like the block in the back. They switched to this, which they carried on to Trackmaster Revolution. So let me put this back on and let's see him running. Alright, so I have the top back on him, and let's turn him on. It's not the fastest in the world, of course. None of the original Trackmaster ones were, but they were stronger. It's pretty strong. Still in reasonable shape, except for the timber, which of course has the scratches on it. But overall, it's in pretty good shape. Nothing really wrong with it. So yeah. Yeah. Oops. This was one of the last classic Trackmaster items that I ever got. I got it for Christmas, I believe 2013. Right before 2014 and all the Tale of the Brave and the Trackmaster Revolution stuff came out. Yeah, I was at the time I was really happy to get this. I'm glad I have it. And it's fine to have. So next let's move on to something a little smaller. Alright, so we have here He's James. I got this like a couple years ago, a while now. I just was in the store and just saw the minis there, and they were just there, so I decided to pick one up. I did that little stretch of the bag trick so you can kind of see what's inside, and I saw the 5, and it looked like the normal versions of them. So I decided to pick him up, and he's pretty cute. I like him. Minis, for the most part, they're kind of weird. I don't really like them. They're just weird. It's a weird direction for Thomas, but the classic ones look okay. It's a good idea. They're still making them, so definitely profitable, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what year or what series this came out of. There's probably some minis experts out there that can tell me exactly what day this was created. But anyway, that's pretty much all there is to say about this. I don't like the face, like, at all. It's printed nicely. That's fine. But anyway, let's go on to some media that James appeared in. Alright, so James the Red Engine's first appearance was in Thomas the Tank Engine, the Railway Series second volume, or book, whatever you want to call it. Of course, he was not red in his first appearance. He was black. Painted black with a cube-like tender. Very strange. So, of course, Thomas saves the day. There he is in the field. Of course, no one was hurt. There he is. And after that book, he gets a book all to himself. James the Red Engine, number 3. And in this book, it's 4 stories all about James, where he basically learned nothing. Because it's not in his character to learn much. He's very vain, but not entirely in this book. He's kind of out of character. Of course, Audrey said this was his least favorite book that he published. You can see why it's very inaccurate to the character and locations, and it's okay. James and Top Hat's kind of a boring story. James and the Bootlace is good, though. What other stories are here? Can't remember. Troubles and Trucks is an okay story. Shows James actually trying. James and Express, basically him being at the right place at the right time and getting rewarded for basically nothing. So that's James, Red Engine. The next book I'm going to show you is his last story in Wilbert's Railway series in Mainline Engines. Of course, in classic James style, his last story was when he gets stung by a bee. I just find that hilarious. There's some really cool shots of his cab. Basically just James in general. Like, it's wonderfully illustrated. Bees. I love the humans. The way they're painted. Stung on the nose. So yeah, that's James's last story in Wilbert's Railway series, and his last appearance in Wilbert's Railway series, as far as I know, is in Oliver the Western Engine in book 24, where he is just in the sheds admiring Oliver, and he's embarrassed. But anyway, that's it for the Railway series. Now let's go on to the TV series. The only James like basically DVD or VHS that I own is this. It's James Learns a Lesson and Other Stories, basically big pack. These are the things that came with the wooden railway accessories. This came with like a construction, what is that called? Mixer, concrete mixer. I don't know why. I don't think there's any stories about that in here, but it came with it. Yeah, I got this really late. Like in my childhood, I never really watched it. I think one of my parents like found it on clearance or something, and they just got it for me. But I believe all these are from season 1. Maybe, pretty sure. Maybe not. But yeah, I don't think I've ever watched this actually, because I don't remember seeing some of these on this DVD. Yeah, Proud Day for James. I never watched that. Thompson Brady's Great Waste, I never watched that. Thomas Goes Fishing, never watched that. On here at least. It's got a little damage here, but anyway, that's that. Never watched it. I probably will watch it sometime. Let's see if there's anything in here. So the actual DVD was in this case. It's in the little case. Here's a little pamphlet. It's a hit era DVD. So that's basically... Ooh, Mr. Rogers. Hello. What is this? Oh, it's a wooden railway thing. Interesting. Anyway. That's all the James media that I have, and now let's move on to something else that I made. Alright, so the last thing, or James thing that I have is this. I made this drawing a few months ago, actually. For the tutorial of James's theme, which is up here if you want to check it out, if you want to learn how to play James's season 1 theme on the piano. I also have the performance of that arrangement right here, so if you haven't already watched that, go watch that now. I also have an outtakes video for the filming of that performance. There's some funny stuff that happens in there. It's up in the corner again. So anyway, back to James. He is in his Railway series form, obviously, with a very TV style face. I'm not sure exactly where I got that from, but I believe it was I think it was from the Railway series that just looked like the TV series James. But anyways, got his blue stripes, his gold dome, everything. I'm pretty proud of this one. I think it turned out pretty well. Except for that wheel, it's kind of messed up. Everything else, it's pretty good. I think I did a good job on the shading. But let me know what you think about this collection, or in this picture, or whatever. And thanks for watching. Thanks for everything that you do. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking, all that. And that's been James' collection. So I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye.